Yo, what is going on, guys? You get your boy AAron2420 here, bringing you guys my APA Little Cup Week 1 game. We're playing against Matt O'Shea, coach of the Montreal Milotics. But if you guys enjoy this video, make sure you cheeky dance your way on over to that like button. It appreciates you dancing all over it. Now, Matt has gotten a very new logo. In case you guys, for some reason, didn't look in the thumbnail at Matt's new logo, I'm going to turn off my video for 1 second. As you can see, his new logo, it looks fucking phenomenal. I think this is by far Bill's best work to date. So, of course, make sure you show Matt some love. Matt just hit 600 subscribers. I'm sure that Matt will try and pimp out my video so we can somehow come back from vacation to 600. Though that's a reach because I'm at 541 right now, but 550 would be nice. So, who knows? Matt, if you're watching this, I love you, man. I love you, Matt. Now give me subs. No, I'm kidding. In all seriousness, though, Matt is a very good Little Cup player. He's done a couple APA Little Cup seasons now, in the Showdown divisions at least. So I know Matt knows what he's doing. I've been in Matt's front office for Little Cup before as well. I don't know if I'm in Matt's Little Cup front office for here. I'm going to be honest. I haven't checked. But I know that I am in it for Showdown. And I know that because I checked a couple days ago and I still happen to be in it. No, I check here and there, Matt. I check here and there. Give me subs. But yeah, I know that Matt actually, like, understands the tier pretty well. He's pretty competent when it comes to Little Cup, especially compared to my knowledge. So this week 1 team, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna try and overstate, like, how unknowledgeable I am, because it's pretty apparent that I won't know what I'm talking about. I looked into getting some help with my week 2 team from my good pal, Blindman. So he actually helped me with my week 2 team. So you guys will see at least, I have a lot more comprehension on my week 2 team and what it does and what it's supposed to do. I sort of understand this team, to be honest. I sort of just whipped it together. So yeah, it should really show that I just whipped it together, to be honest. So yeah, it should be pretty obvious though. This is the game I really realized how bad my team gets handled by electric types. So yeah, in terms of my roster, first up we have Chimchar with Expert Belt. I have Flamethrower, U-Turn, Taunt, and Hidden Power Grass. I have Hidden Power Grass mainly for Whooper. His fire switches actually suck outside of it, which is really helpful. He has Anorith obviously as well, but Anorith is at least neutral, which helps a lot. Like, that's his other quote-unquote type. Well, it's the only other type in the team that has resistance to it. Otherwise, like, Diglett is at least... Diglett's still actually taking super effective hit, so it can't even, like, switch in. Spike would probably be his next best switch in, arguably because of Thick Fat. At least I think it still gets Thick Fat. If it doesn't, then yeah, his team just sucks against fire. So, Chimchar also has a really good speed tier versus his team, base 61. As long as he doesn't get webs up, I should actually be fine. And I do have Taunt at least for, like, a Sawada lead, though. Obviously, if I do lead this, Sawada's probably going to switch out, like, hard, which is fine. In terms of other switching, in terms of other leads he has, Anorith could be a good lead, Diglett could be a good lead, or I can see Electric or Baniri being good leads. He has a lot of potential leads. I think, like, half his team could honestly be a good lead versus my roster. And it really, even Riolo actually could be a really good lead as well. I completely forgot about that. But that would be a great lead as well. My speed, though, I really need the speed just to hit the... I believe I speed tie with Electric, if I'm not mistaken. I forget. If I speed tie, I just barely get outsped by Electric. But, yeah, it's really all I understood about the spread, to be honest. Expert was really just because of how fired his team was. But yeah. And also it helped guarantee the kill versus Whooper without running Life Orb. And I don't want to run Life Orb just because I didn't want to kill myself off really quickly. Next up, we have Spritzy with Babiri Berry. The Babiri Berry is mainly to take on the Diglett better. And I have Moonblast, Hidden Power Ground, Nasty Plot, and Trick Room. So I meant to run Hidden Power Ground on this. I'm not sure if it comes up in the game, I'm going to be honest, I forget. But I realized when making my slides today, I accidentally gen this in as a Hidden Power Flying spread. Because I set the IV to 0 for Trick Room, and I realized that I forgot to set it to min IV for Trick Room IVs with Hidden Power Ground, and I just set it to 0, which changed it to Hidden Power Flying, which sucks. So it is what it is. The spread was just meant to handle his team really well with Moonblast. +2, I should be able to OHKO everything, or at least 2-KO everything. So I really just need to claim a couple kills with this. Everything besides Grimer, at least I'm pretty sure is 2-KO'd by Moonblast or Hidden Power Ground. Grimer, I think, can take it barely, especially because I Hidden Power Flying, of course. I forget, honestly. I just remember doing a ton of damage at +2. And Trick Room being really nice versus this team because it's really fast. Next up, we have Dwebble. Now, Dwebble is either going to win me the game, or it's going to be the reason I lose the game. And it all comes to that last move, fucking Rock Blast. So, Dwebble, I'm telling you right now, I'll give it thumbnail whether it does shit or not. just to hold the suspense in. So you won't know if Dwebble does anything or not. For all you know, you're watching this game right now, and Dwebble got hit with something, and then for some reason I got hit by some surprise priority move that I had no idea that Amon got. Or you know what? No. It got hit by let's say I got fake outed into Last Resorted by Baniri, and it crit killed me. So I didn't get any kills off. And let's just say that for some reason it didn't put me in Berry Juice range. Now, I don't know if that's even possible or not. But let's just say that for some reason a situation like that bad happens, you won't know. Because it'll still get thumbnail regardless. The spread basically, though, I felt like Dwebble was not only my best rocker this game, but he was still not only able to get up rocks, but then able to set up and win versus Matt's team so freely. So the play is, get up rocks, maybe. Set up, definitely. Win, maybe. We'll see. If Lady Luck favors us, she'll give us a kiss on the cheek, the right cheek specifically, and she'll say good job, and she'll give us the win. If she doesn't, then she'll grab a paddle and hit me over the head with it, and then say no, and then I won't win. And you'll see that. Yeah, it should be pretty obvious, but we'll see. We'll see, Dwebble. The ball's in your court. We have Shinx next, with a Violet. It's a Spinef set, actually. This is my electric check. It's a really bad electric check, but it's an electric check. I realized, though, and it completely escaped my mind, that electric gets lightning rod. And I completely forgot I should have run Heat Bar ground, because it would have still hit Wooper neutrally. Forgot about that, though. The things that go into my head when prepping, they're not smart. It's just so funny. Like, I built this thing specifically to be an electric check, yet I have nothing that touches electric on this spread. I don't know why. On this, the EVs were just taking on Spinef as well as possible. But, like, I didn't do anything to it. I don't even think I 3-8 KO it, if I'm being honest. I forget the calc, but I'm sure it's not much. See my grass. But yeah. I ran special, though, just a way to keep this alive as long as possible. I feel like that was at least intelligent. And also because its physical coverage, this matchup specifically, really sucked. It has really good physical coverage, just this matchup, it really sucked. It has great special coverage, this matchup, though, because Matt's electric switches suck. He has 2 ground types, sure, but they both died in bar grass. So, we'll take it. Thunderwave is also really nice for, like, Riolu, Drifloon as well, Baniri. Well, not necessarily Baniri because of Limber, but at the very least, Riolu and Drifloon are great. Actually, if Baniri doesn't get Limber, then that's great. But I didn't think about that, I'm gonna be honest. It was mostly for Riolu and Drifloon. And, yeah, that's really it. Also kind of Anorith because of Shell Smash, but mostly for Riolu and Drifloon. Next up, we have Bidoof with Berry Juice. I have Curse, Quick Attack, Crunch, and Aqua Tail. This is my backup win con. Now, it's a lot harder to set up with a Bidoof this game, but it does so nice coverage-wise. Like, if I can get set up, I should be fine, because I didn't chew any hit. His team is really physically heavy, too. Like, his only special mod is really just Electrike on this entire roster, and then, like, somewhat Riolu and Drifloon, but not really. But his team is so physically heavy. If I get that +2 defense off with Curse, I should chew any hit versus his team. And it's so nice. And Berry Juice is really helpful in this game as well. That's why I ran the 0 HP versus running HP investment as well. Just get Berry Juice off better. Yeah. I'm hoping for the best. Now, if the best will happen, we don't know. Lady Luck again. My right cheek is right here. But, I'm expecting paddle, not gonna lie. With my luck lately, Lady Luck is bringing the paddle. And she's gonna whip me in the ass hard with it. Finally, we have Petalil. Now, this is my other electric check. It was also supposed to be a Drifloon check, actually, because Drifloon actually can't kill me, guaranteed. It's defensive Petalil. I thought actually had a really good matchup versus Matt. And I think this was arguably like the ones that I really knew what I was doing with. I think I prepped this really well specifically. This and Dwebble, but Dwebble is pretty brain dead. If you don't know about Dwebble and Little Cup, you never heard of Little Cup as a tier. You don't know it exists. Because anyone who knows remote knowledge about Little Cup knows how to invest a Shell Smash Dwebble. It's a standard set. It is the most basic bitch set. It is the Starbucks coffee of basic bitch levels. With like jeggings and Uggs. That's how basic bitch it is in Little Cup. But like this is the other side. I feel like I actually had a lot of confidence in this game. Now this was before I remembered that Electric got Flamethrower. So that was a yikes. But in theory, this is my other backup electric check. I had Leech Seed just because it's very spammable versus his team. He has one mod that can take it, and that's Swaddle. And Swaddle I feel like doesn't come because it's such a throw versus my team. And I have so much to take advantage of it if it does come, so I don't care. Giga Drain is actually really spammable versus his team as well, besides like the Grimer. And even then, I know Grimer's going to be a switch into this, which is fine, because I can Leech Seed protect it. I stall it out, hopefully burn a Berry Juice if it has it. And yeah. So, that's my team versus Matt. If it'll work or not, I don't know. As I said, I don't feel confident in this team. Partially, it's because I don't have an electric switch in. Partially, it's because my electric switch-ins also suck versus his electric. In practice, at least. In theory, they suck versus it. Because, in theory, I didn't realize electric's coverage, or that I couldn't touch electric. In practice, though, like, they're obviously gonna get handled by electric. It just makes sense. Like, electric should probably still at least... I'm assuming it'll 2 KO. Because Petal doesn't exactly have good spin F. I mean, a Violet might prove me wrong. Maybe, like, you know, if he's running a Violet set to take on my hits better, he might 3 KO. And that would be great, actually. That would be phenomenal if he does. But at the very least, he's probably gonna manslaughter Shanks. I wouldn't be shocked if he did. And he's probably running coverage for it as well, because Matt's not a brain-dead player. Matt knows what he's doing, and look at myself. So we'll see. I'm hoping for the best. I think I can pull it off. As long as Lady Luck kisses Dwebble on the cheek, realistically, anything is possible. I get prepped like the worst team possible, but as long as I had Dwebble on it, it would have possibly had a chance to win, because that's how good Dwebble is this matchup. So, we'll see. Point is, though, Dwebble should have been a tier 1 mod, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Well, I'll see you guys later in the game. Peace. Yo, what's going on, guys? You got your boy AAron2420. I'm bringing you guys my APA Little Cup game versus Matt. Now, I know I think I mentioned in a couple other videos this could be live comm. I realized as I was editing those videos that I fucked up the footage, and because of this, it's gonna be post-comm now. You guys already probably saw the team builder. I think I mentioned in my team builder, because I'm pretty sure I recorded that later than this happened. I don't remember, I'm gonna be honest, I forget. But yeah, that's why it's post-comm. I might have even referenced there that it was gonna be a live comm. That might be how early on I bulked that team builder out before leaving for vacation. So yeah. That's why this video is up now, because I realized that at 3 AM the day I was leaving, I had to then sleep for at least 6 hours, still had to pack, still had to schedule everything, still had to make thumbnails. So I would have maybe had an hour tops to record this, edit it out, render it, and still schedule it, which could have barely been possible with that. But I ended up also leaving an hour earlier than I was originally planning, so luckily I didn't attempt to do that, or else things would have been a little chaotic. So we're here, as you guys saw in the team builder. You guys saw our team if you watched it. Next week we'll have an actually better team builder with the team that I understand a lot more. I have been taking up a little bit of Little Cup tutoring, because I'm, unlike with Ubers jumping into a new format, there's a lot of differences, such as the level you build at, so the EVs obviously work very differently, and also the Mons. I'm not familiar at all with Little Cup, whereas I play a fair amount of Ubers on the side. So at least I sort of understand the basics of what those Mons do, whereas Little Cup, I probably didn't know what 2/3 of my draft did when I drafted it, I'm going to be honest. I just hoped and prayed. So yeah, this game sort of shows just how unknowing I really am at Little Cup, I would say. Also, I realized it in call with Matt, which is another reason why I really hate that I didn't save this, because Matt and I actually had a really long post-game discussion. We sort of went over how Matt actually pointed out to me my draft is not a ground type. Now, I overlooked this at first. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I realized in this game that it clearly was that big of a deal, and we immediately made transactions, as I mentioned in my draft analysis. So, without further ado, I mean, I might as well just sum up the matchup. So, Matt has brought Electrike, Baneri, Grimer, Diglett, Drifloon, and Anorith. Now, in terms of just the full team, I think that this is a pretty solid team. It's a little bit weak to the Dwebble, but, I mean, there wasn't exactly a ton that Matt could have overly done about Dwebble. It really just depends on how many times we hit. My team is extremely weak to Electric, so I'm really I think it's really, I'm really glad that he brought it, because I was fucking terrified that he brought that thing. It was one of the biggest threats, in my opinion. But I think it made sense, a lot of sense that Matt brought it. I think it at least shows that Matt is pretty competent in building. To have at least seen that, it would have made me question a lot if Matt didn't bring something that legitimately 6-0'd my team. And I mean that with full sincerity, it legitimately could 6-0 my team if it got the chance. So, yeah, in terms of the game itself, I might as well click onto that, and we can start going over that. So, my lead here, I plan to lead up with Chimchar. I felt like that a Chimchar lead would be my smartest lead. I originally didn't take its speed into account, but I forgot how slow Chimchar really is. So I was like, okay, you know, Chimchar lead, that seems like a smart lead. He leads off with Electrike, which makes sense. It's a pretty nice momentum gainer for him. I should close out some tabs as well. So not only is it a really nice momentum gainer for Matt, but also in addition to that, it does provide Matt with a lot of options, actually. Between the fact that
Matt obviously could have just Thunderbolt turn 1 and killed off my Mons. I wasn't actually sashed, I was expert belt, as you guys saw in the team builder. So that already killed me like turn 1, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't think he would outpace, nor did I think that he would have just flat out outcode, but here we are. So Matt then proceeds to go into Grimer, which makes sense. That was always his switch into Petalil. I brought in Petalil just because I figured that in the off chance he was like a Scarf or a Spec set, or any sort of choice set, or even if he just lacked coverage, because I forgot that he got fire coverage at the time, I figured I could always just force out Electric. So I figured I'd click Leech Seed. I knew the Grimer was going to come in. I could at the very least stall some HP from it, and then I figured I could play around it from there, which makes sense. As you can see, we are ranked on his Grimer, which is definitely a bigger threat to our team. If this thing got set up with curses, that would be terrifying. It would be game over at that. I decided to click my Hidden Power here because I thought he might have actually tried switching out into possibly like a Drifloon, for example. Drifloon, for example. Sadly, he does not, and he knocks off our Violate, which is a little bit annoying, but it does show me that at the very least he most likely does not have poison coverage. Now, obviously, I could be wrong, but it didn't seem like he had it, which helps me a lot with my thought process later on in the game. He does switch out here back into Real Sonic, and I decided that this turn that I am actually going to go for another Hidden Power. I felt like that this is still my best way to hit the Grimer. I did already have it seeded, and I thought that he would probably switch out if he didn't, and if he didn't, maybe he'd just go for setup, and I would be wasting a turn going for Protect anyway. I felt like it was too obvious. Here he goes into Anorith, seeing how much I did with a non-stab Hidden Power that wasn't super effective. And I actually go for Giga Drain. Luckily, Anorith is still neutral to Giga Drain, so this does, of course, still help us a lot. Sadly, though, I do sort of need to protect and just hope that he doesn't take advantage of this by clicking, I believe this thing gets a Sword Stance at least. Luckily, he only clicks X's are here, which is perfectly fine. I don't overly mind this. It's just a little bit annoying, of course, because it does 100% force me out, and I can't necessarily get up a Leech Seed before. But it's not the biggest deal in the world. I do still have Chuck at the very least, and Chuck could still save us, of course, by going for Curse and set up on this thing. And actually, this is a great mon to set up on until he crits. So, it is what it is. I should have lived that comfortably, but of course, a Violate adds into crits and just makes them... I had better use in this. But I still should have lived this at the very least, and I could have possibly went for an Aqua Tail, because this thing is... Anorith is ridiculously slow. Now, luckily for the Rock Blast, he would need to hit it absolutely 5 times with 5, like, perfect rolls for this to have actually killed. Like, 5 of these rolls, which were the max rolls he could have gotten. They were 6 to 7 HP hits. So if he got, like, 6 HP hits off, he wouldn't have killed, because I would have went through, I want to say, just enough to, I believe I would have lived on, like, 2 HP or so, give or take. Obviously, max rolls would have killed, or even a couple of them. That's all it would have taken. Luckily, though, he only gets 2 hits, so we obviously get a Shell Smash up with full HP. And we go for Rock Blast, and 1 hit was obviously going to kill us. I knew for a fact, unless if it was at full with like a Sash or something, that 1 hit would have killed. So we have killed the Anorith already, and it's looking like game at this point. I figured that my job at this point is just to stay and hit. So I click Earthquake versus the Diglett. I knew it guaranteed O-code, so I wasn't going to risk. If he was possibly Sashed, then there's nothing I could do to avoid that. My goal is to hope that he's not Sashed, because I would never get as free of an opportunity again, especially if he did go for Rocks. He brings in his Banir here, so I appreciate the nickname. At least Matt got some best girl, right? And he decides to go for Fake Out here. I thought that seeing this, it was a little weird that Matt didn't try to go for Fake Out spam, but, I mean, you do you, Matt, of course. I know that Matt probably had some sort of play. Maybe he just let nervous get to him and choked up a little bit. But luckily for Matt, of course, I hit twice. As I mentioned in my team builder, my goal was to hit 3 times and everything. That would have won the game. But he gets a Last Resort off, and because of my defense drop, this does actually guarantee the kill. So that is extremely unfortunate. We do, however, bring in Roar here, and luckily Roar at the very least does have Intimidate, which will help with the Banir. It still, of course, is going to do a fair amount to me, but it does at the very least help give me some momentum, and it also does, in general, handle a lot of things on his team left right now. So he's going to bring in I Am Goop, his Grimer, as I'm going to go for Hidden Power Grass. And as you can see, this does nothing. I clicked this mainly just in case if the Electric came in, because I was not going to Lightning Rod boost that and let it get to +1 attack when my team is already significantly weak to it. However, seeing that Grimer was to switch in, I felt my best play was just a Volt Switch. Now, had I went for a Thunderbolt there, I could have actually killed this thing. Sadly, Volt Switch was not enough. However, I do bring in Tulip. I figured that seeing just how he played this thing earlier, at the very least I can go for Leech Seed and maybe just try and stall us out a little bit of HP, or even just go for a Hidden Power Rock here, which is what I ultimately ended up doing. I considered Leech Seed, but I figured that I realized after that wasn't the most worth it, and it sort of occurred to me that letting him set up was not actually a play, because he could have just clicked a +1 Shadow Seek or something if he realized I was just going to try and stall him out, and that would have been horrible for me. So sadly here, he actually has Flamethrower in his set, and I ran Calx, and I realized at this point he had to be Specs, because Specs was the only way you could have gotten the kill, and I realized that all I need to do is sack 1 more Mon and click Thunderbolt twice, and he wins. So this was very disheartening to see. Sadly for Matt though, he does of course have to switch out here because Specs Flamethrower will not kill, and I do a fair amount with Moonblast. So luckily for me though, I do get off a Trick Room here. I figured that seeing that damage, I had to go for Trick Room and hope he switched out, which luckily he did. And I got off a Nasty Plot here. I felt like that was definitely a really free play on my end. And Matt is going to, I believe he went for Calm Mind. I thought for some reason he was going to go for Will-O-Wisp, but he actually goes for Calm Mind. I remember Matt trying to set up alongside me, so of course it's a very smart play on Matt's part, trying to take the hits better. And luckily for Matt, we didn't run a Calm Mind set, because a Calm Mind set could have at the very least set up parallel to this, and we would have also gained some Spidef boosts. However, Matt is not only going to gain the Spidef to actually take this hit, but he's also going to now have his Unburden pop once Trick Room is gone, which is great for him, and he's going to have the special offense to take hits on us where we wouldn't have gained the Spidef otherwise. So as we can see here, he's going to do a fair amount to us. I sadly cannot kill him no matter what at this point, but I have to at least hope for maybe a crit. And as you can see here, he's going to live. I knew that my rolls were guaranteed not going to do enough, so he's just going to kill me with Shadow Ball here, which is perfectly fine. I mean, there's only so much I could have done about that. Now, all I have left is Roar at this point, and luckily I do still have the Trick Room up, which is pretty nice for me. At the very least, it will help possibly get a kill. But at the same time, though, I can only do so much at this point because he could just hard swap right into Electric, which I believe is what he does, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, he goes right hard into Electric. Perfectly understandable. It's definitely Matt's by far smartest play. As I go for Hidden Power. Again, I figured this was really my only play at this point. It would have killed Drifloon. I believe Drifloon only had like 1 HP left after that roll, 1 or 2, and I know I did at least that much. So he's going to go for Flamethrower here. Pretty understandable play. It's obviously going to do a ton of damage to me. I'm going to go for another Hidden Power, and as you can see, he is going to just barely live on 1 HP, and he's going to go for a Flamethrower, and I believe this will do just enough damage to kill, because I remember Matt winning 3-0, if I'm not mistaken. So, definitely unfortunate, of course. I still think I had a very fun game versus Matt. It's a game that could have very well went very differently, of course, if I got that one set of 3 rolls there, because everything else was in range to either die to an Earthquake, such as the Electrike, the Grimer, and the Drifloon only needed 2 hits on it, so had I gotten the 3rd hit on the Baneri, I would have guaranteed the kill. In hindsight, I probably should have just Earthquake there. I believe that Earthquake would have actually killed, if I'm not mistaken. If it didn't, then I'm being stupid, but I believe Earthquake might have killed there. I think it might have at least been a roll. I know that 3 hits guaranteed the kill. I do remember that. But I believe Earthquake was at least a roll to kill, so that would have probably been safer just to go for that. Of course, even then, I still think that I had a very fun game versus Matt. You guys should make sure to go check him out along with everyone else in APA Little Cup. Next week, we're going to be taking on Tony. I forget what Tony's team is. Oh yeah, Austin Apoms. I was going to say, I remember something around Apom. I know he really likes them on. So we're going to be taking on him. He's a very good pal of mine. I've known him for a few years now. So make sure to check him out along with Matt and everyone else in APA Little Cup. It's been your boy AAron2420, and I'm signing out. Until next time, peace out, guys.